I trust that you well. Welcome to Miss Fountain channel. In this session, we're going to look at Tylenol crisis, that is the Tylenol murders, cyanide in the medicine cabinet, a forensic tragedy that changed America. In the quiet suburbs of Chicago, 1982, a mother reached for a bottle of Tylenol. A familiar friend, trusted to chase away pain, not summon death. But that year, painkillers became killers. Ordinary homes turned into crime scenes. Medicine cabinets became the stage of a nation's most chilling misery. No gunshots, no knives, no struggle, only silence, and a tiny capsule laced with death. This is the story of the Tylenol murders, a case that rewrote forensic toxicology and forever changed how the world trusts the products meant to heal us. How the pain began, the morning the pain began. It was 29th September 1982 in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. 12-year-old Mary Kellerman woke up feeling a little sick. Her parents, like millions of others, trusted Tylenol, the #1 pain reliever in America. Her father handed her a single capsule. Moments later, he had a third. Mary collapsed, lifeless, before help could arrive. Doctors were baffled. A sudden heart failure, an allergic reaction. But soon, another tragedy struck. That same day, Adam Jenner's 27-year-old postal worker took Tylenol for chest pain. He too collapsed and died in front of his family. Grieving and confused, relatives gathered at Adam's house. His brother Stanley and sister-in-law Teresa also took Tylenol from the same bottle. Within hours, both were dead. 3 funerals, 1 family, 1 medicine, and the nightmare had only begun. Across Chicago, more unexplained deaths followed. Mary Rayner, Paula Prince, Mary Falkland, all young, healthy, and dead within minutes of taking extra strength Tylenol. Police realized this was no coincidence. The link: Tylenol capsules. The bottles looked normal, the seals intact, but inside lacked potassium cyanide, a deadly poison that stops the body from using oxygen. Forensic toxicologists stepped into the scene, armed with microscopes, reagents, and calm determination. They tested the capsules, a faint bitter almond odor, the telltale scent of cyanide. A single capsule contained enough poison to kill thousands. The diagnosis: cyanide poisoning. The question: who would do such a thing? Cyanide, one of the fastest acting poisons known to man. It binds to iron in a cytochrome oxidase, halting cellular respiration. Your body suffocates while still breathing. Forensic toxicologists faced a puzzle: how to trace cyanide in a drug capsule when its volatile nature made it disappear within hours. Using a spectrophotometry and chromatography, they identified cyanide's chemical fingerprint. Samples from victims' tissues showed elevated cyanide levels in the liver, in the blood, and in the brain. And what were the autopsy findings? Bright red skin and blood, which is a sign of oxygen saturation halted at the cellular level. There was bitter almond odor in the body tissues, and also no other toxins were detected. The evidence was undeniable. The killer wasn't human. It was chemistry, but someone had orchestrated it. Chicago descended into fear. Every household checked their medicine cabinet. Stores pulled Tylenol from shelves. Helplines were flooded. Johnson & Johnson, the manufacturer, launched a full recall, 31 million bottles, costing over $1 million. It was the largest consumer product recall in American history. Law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, FDA, and local police joined forces. They found no contamination at the factory. This meant the tampering happened after distribution. Someone had taken the bottles, replaced the capsules with cyanide-laced ones, and quietly returned them to store shelves. A killer moving among the innocent. No fingerprints, no witnesses, only death packaged in trust. And who is the suspect? Among the leads, one name stood out, James W. Lewis. He sent a letter to Johnson & Johnson demanding $1 million to stop the killings, but his link to the actual poisoning was never proven. He was convicted only of extortion. Forensic teams analyzed handwriting, chemical residue, and capsule composition, but no direct match to any suspect was ever confirmed. Years passed. The trail grew cold. The case officially unsolved. Yet, forensic toxicologists continued studying it, turning every data point into knowledge for future prevention. The forensic lessons that we get from this, the Tylenol murders were not just a tragedy, they were a turning point. Because of this case, the US introduced tamper-evident packaging, that is foil seals, child-proof caps, warning labels, among others. Forensic toxicology evolved to developing rapid screening methods for poisons and protocol for mass toxic exposure. The tragedy reshaped trust between science, consumers, and corporations. It taught forensic experts that chemistry isn't just about reactions, it's about responsibility. The human stories. Behind every forensic sample was a family. Behind every forensic toxicology report, a human life cut short. Mary Kellerman's parents never recovered from the loss. Paula Prince, a flight attendant, was found dead alone in her apartment, the open Tylenol bottle still on her counter. Each name etched into forensic history, not as victims, but as silent teachers of vigilance. And what was the global impact? The ripple effects were global. Nations around the world redesigned medicine safety laws. The pharmaceutical industry embraced forensic collaboration. No longer could a pill be sold without proof of integrity. No longer could a toxicologist ignore consumer safety. Science, once reactive, became preventive. And from tragedy rose transformation. The Tylenol murders remain unsolved. No fingerprints, no faces, no confession. Only the echo of trust broken and science reborn. From the ashes of fear, forensic toxicology rose, stronger, sharp, guided by the question, How can we make sure this never happens again? Every pill you open today, every seed you break, every safety label you read whispers a story born in 1982, a story of innocence lost and vigilance gained. Because sometimes the dead do not speak in words, they speak in reforms, in science, in truth. And that is the legacy of Tylenol murders. And that is the end of our session. Kindly, if you've not subscribed to our channel, subscribe to Miss Fountain channel. Remember to like the video,